Well, hello there, it's Michael from Self-Pub Nation, and in this short video, I'm going to share with you my 3 best ninja hack strategies on writing a nonfiction book that doesn't suck and will actually put some good old cash in your pocket. So let's get started with how to write a nonfiction book that doesn't suck. Strategy number 1, pick a lane and narrow that audience. I know this is going to seem weird and nonsensical, kind of like a David Lynch movie, but the more broad and general your book is, and the bigger that you think this potential audience for your nonfiction book is, the less books you'll actually sell. Conversely, the more focused, narrow, niche-y, insular, the more copies you'll sell. Not to mention radically boost that irrational, passionate fan base of yours. And the reasons are pretty simple. The more focused you get, the less competition there is, and you'll give every prospective reader this sense that your book was written just for them. Let's say I'm writing a how-to parenting guide. Yes, throw a rock and you will hit 200 million of those kind of books. I could spend years trying to market my book and get that guest spot on the Today Show, but unless I am repped by a traditional publisher, it will be very difficult for me to get any traction and sell a lot of copies. However, if I write a how-to guide for parents who homeschool, have a large age disparity, have 5 or more kids, live on a farm, live in a tiny city apartment, are expats living in a foreign country, suddenly that laser-like focus has made your book the indispensable resource on that subject to that audience. Now, you don't want to go too niched and too focused. I wouldn't do a how-to guide for parents who spent 10 years living in a Doctor Who inspired cult in Arizona. Just go as specific as you can, and you will find that smaller audience gives you a much bigger paycheck. How to write a nonfiction book that doesn't suck. Strategy number 2, write your chapters for every type of personality. So in the first strategy, I encourage you to go really narrow with the focus of your nonfiction book. But in the actual mechanics of writing your chapters, the organization of your information, I actually recommend that you go as wide as possible. And by wide, I mean writing to all the different ways that people consume information. Now, I did not invent this. It actually comes from studies at Harvard, where really smart people go to school. But what they found was that different people comprehend information in different ways. Some people are cerebral. They need the context of the information. They need to know the why this information is important before they're really able to really understand the what of the information. Other people are emotional learners. They want a sensory tour guide. They want somebody to walk them through the information step by step. They want somebody to say, this happens and then this happens, but watch out for this. Here comes a curveball. And then gradually you take them through this journey until they reach the end of the chapter and like, oh wow, this was really cool. You took me all the way through. Other people are like super impatient. Just tell me what I need to do. I don't care about the why or the how. Just tell me to do this, 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 and this. And that's it. So how do you please everybody? Well, by including all 3 of these different kind of modes of learning in your chapters. Start off your chapter by laying the foundation of why this chapter exists, why this particular topic in this chapter is important. This will connect to the cerebral types. Then use the meat of your chapter to walk people through what they can expect, and most importantly, what to avoid. People love hearing horror stories about stuff they can avoid. This is probably 75% of your chapters, and most writers are pretty good at nailing those first 2. You'll find those in a lot of chapters, but it's the last one many people forget because, and I hate to be the one to break it to you, but some readers are not going to read every single word you write. In fact, some are going to skip your chapters entirely and head right to the end of the chapter to get to the bare bones stuff that they're looking for. And if you provide it to them in the form of action steps or key takeaways or summary points, then you'll not only give the type A's what they're looking for and probably avoid a lot of refunds, you'll reinforce this information for every type of reader, which will lead to positive reviews and a huge boost in long-term sales. But the real magic comes from how to write a nonfiction book that doesn't suck. Strategy number 3, give them a glimpse of the big picture. So at the risk of sounding like a Tony Robbins self-improvement seminar, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to walk on fire. Your readers think that they're buying your book for the words and information inside. But what they really want is something more transcendent, a new way of looking at the world that gives them more hope, motivation, inspiration, something that makes them more awesome than they were before they read your book. And so if you can, at the end of your nonfiction book, take your information and give it a much bigger context. Help them see that they don't really want a video marketing strategy or a step-by-step blueprint of how to write a screenplay, even if they think they do. What they really want, they want this ability to be able to not only change their lives, but change the lives of people they've never met. I kind of told you we were going to venture into that Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer end of the bookstore. But I'm absolutely sincere about this. This one strategy alone will not only help you sell more books, which is nice, it will make your books memorable, impactful, super meaningful to people that you've never met. I get hundreds of emails from readers every single day saying my books really spoke to them. It really came to them in a time of life when they needed it. And I'm not a great writer by any stretch at all, but I am able to provide this information in an organized way and then connect that information to something bigger. And I encourage you to do the same. So if you have enjoyed this video, would you mind giving me a YouTube thumbs up it or retweet, like, Facebookification or something like that, just to show if you got any, like, a little bit out of it. Would you mind doing that? Oh, and if you also want access to my brand new video seminar, 5 Secrets to Making a Damn Good Living as a Writer, I provided a link below this video, selfpubnation.com/5 secrets. You can go and check that out. Totally free. I'm just really excited about it. It kind of puts in everything that I've learned about carving out a full-time writing career. So hope to see you there, but in case I don't, write well, publish often, and don't let anybody, and that includes Tony Robbins' firewalks, stand in your way.